Hello, Nick. How are you today?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Good, thanks. So I guess a little bit of maybe not unexpected, but still jarring news yesterday. I'm just wondering what kind of struggle or what kind of problems that presents to you, having guys who may be in and out for a week at a time over the course of the year, perhaps?
Yeah, I think like anything, Doug. I think that there's always a little bit of guys in and out, so it's not like it's overly well. At this point, it's not overly concerning because you have to deal with it all the time. There's bumps and bruises. There's legitimate injuries. There's things that go on anyway. I mean, listen, I think as we all look around this pandemic in the sports world and other sports and things, there's obviously a lot going on and not much you can prepare for other than say, hey, let's stay flexible and do the best we can. When something comes up, do the best we can, right? I know that's a pretty simple answer, but I think that's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, flexibility seems to be one of your strong suits, given what everybody went through there last year with all the injuries before the pandemic shut things down. Do you draw on anything from the past that will help you get through this?
Well, I think that first of all, good point in your question. I mean, I had a lot of training, in the minors of guys coming and going constantly, and after you get used to that, it spins your head around pretty good the first year or so of doing it, but then you just say, this is the world I'm living in. I better figure out how to thrive in this world I'm living in. So I think that even like you said last year, we had a lot of bodies out a lot. And we just, we try to coach all the way through our roster, Doug, and make sure that the guys understand what we're doing. If we need them down past 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever it is, as last year, I would say even times where there was an O'Shea Brissett who, closed out games on the road the whole fourth quarter. He's probably a two-way player, so he's down in 16, 17 slot, theoretically. So I think that just lots of years of training of being in strange environments and players coming and going and stuff like that would be what I would lean on. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Nick. Take care. Stay safe down there.
Well, Doug, thanks. You too, man.
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just checking out, no contact yesterday. Were you back to contact today, or is that too soon? I don't know how this really works.
Yeah, we were in full contact today. We sure were.
Okay. And I mean, I don't know if it was so not expected, but I mean, the possibility was obviously there. Do you look at this as or do you kind of use this as a wake-up call that three members already of the staff have gone down, or is that even necessary?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think it feels like a wake-up call, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if it, but I think it does add a sense of awareness, right? Wake-up call just might be a little too strong, but it certainly does add a sense of awareness. And I think a lot of things do. You look around, you see something happen in another sport or another team or college or whatever, and you're kind of getting these awareness reminders because that's kind of what's going on. That's the way things are moving, in the world of sports right now. But yeah, it hits a little closer home, and it does, make us. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I get in front of the team and have some commentary on it. Yeah, I do, and that's probably because of, those results coming in and just, again, I envision myself having to do that, like not every day, but maybe every other, you know what I mean?
Yep, for sure. Back to the actual games or playing. Aaron Baines, we got him coming up soon. You've seen him now for a few days. Are you learning anything about this guy that you didn't already know, or is his game pretty much, was it an open book coming in?
Well, he looks very good. That's what I would say. And I guess, am I learning anything? Well, you always learn stuff when you got him in front. I think he's a much better shooter than maybe I envisioned, for one. The physicality and the screening and some of those things, obviously, you always get a taste of when you play against him, because he's kind of really, he's, obviously one of the tougher, more physical guys in the league, right up there.
Yep.
Probably him and Adams, probably, right? So you always feel that when you play against him, and you certainly see all that. Good teammate, very coachable, wants to win. There's obviously personality things that you don't know a guy, so now you get to know him. But he seems to be a great member of the team and fitting into our culture so far. Really good.
All right. Thanks very much, Nick. Stay safe down there.
Yeah, thank you.
Nick, what's going on?
Not much, Eric. How are you?
I'm just dandy, thank you. I wanted to ask you about Alex Len. You spoke last year about how just having 5 guys on the floor at the same time who were willing to shoot was a big part of your offense. And Alex has sort of experimented with that the last 2 years to very different results, one year versus the other. Where do you see him as a shooter? And then just beyond that, what do you like about him in the, competing for the backup center minutes?
Yeah, I'm not sure on the shooting part quite yet, Eric. I would say that my initial thoughts is we probably want him underneath the basket in the dunker, rolling hard on screens, being a force on the offensive board. He's a big target. We've never really had the kind of pick and roll lob threat, a big, just to kind of, guards are throwing it up at the rim and the guys up at the rim finishing it off. I see that. Really getting his hands on a lot of offensive rebounds too. So I would envision that he probably stays in pretty tight, Eric, at this point. Will he sneak out and will we get him a 3 here and there? Maybe. But I think that we're going to have to, I don't know, I think his strengths are certainly offensive rebounding and being a lob threat at the rim. So I probably want to try to keep him within a good distance to get to some of that stuff.
I know privacy stuff keeps you from naming any players that may or may not have COVID. Are there any other injuries that have popped up, or is everybody else healthy?
No, we're okay. I mean, we've had a few, bumps and bruises here, but nothing. I'm gonna run a kind of an inter squad scrimmage tomorrow, and everybody's been cleared to go. So that's good news.
All right, appreciate it, Nick. Stay safe.
Yep. Thanks, Eric. You too, man.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Great, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Sorry to come back around to this, but I wanted to follow up on your answer to Mike's question. I would imagine that you guys have gotten pretty used to dividing your focus between basketball and bigger real-world issues over the last 8 or 9 months. Does that become more challenging now that, as you said, things sort of hit home a bit more or in a bigger way? I guess what I'm asking is, was it any more difficult to focus on basketball today?
Nope, it wasn't. Again, I think you mentioned in your question, there's been, so much of it. Again, it's not unlike the minor league training of playing with who you got on the night, right? You get used to it, and it's similar now. You kind of get used to, I don't know if it's handling whatever's getting thrown at you, or putting it in a certain compartment, right? And then just handling that and then moving over to the basketball. That's kind of what it seems like to me. There seems to be many things that are going on. I mean, even with just relocating or whatever it is, which isn't that big a deal either, but there is, time and energy spent there. And then you put that to the side and then you get to your film watching and your practice planning and your, making players better. Thoughts. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you about Patrick McCaw. How's he coming along? How does he look coming back from the knee? And is he, I guess, fully back, fully healthy?
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I wouldn't say he's fully all the way back, but he's active and moving great and says he feels great, et cetera. I think we're erring on the side of caution here a little bit. We're just kind of making sure he's ready to roll before giving him too many consecutive minutes on the floor and practice and things like that. But he's in good spirits. He's looking good. Like I said, he's vibrant and ready to go. Says he feels great and looks pretty good to me. So good shape.
Thanks, Nick. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, Nick. Hope you're well.
Hi, Steven.
I know you mentioned how like you kind of going a little accustomed to guys going in and out of the lineup, but like given this season, where you guys trying to play through like a pandemic, not in a bubble, like you guys almost have to have like as a coaching staff maybe contingencies or more contingencies for in the event of guys being out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that yes is the answer to that question. I think one of the biggest contingency things we can do is, again, try to get all 15/17 guys ready, right? I mean, it just, you just you got to figure out, well, you got to make sure you teach these guys how you want to play, and obviously we got a number of new guys, so that part needs to, continue. We need to accelerate that, especially with the new guys, like I mentioned on day one. And I think that's the best contingency plan we can have, is continue to just say next man ready or plug in and play. And we got to have confidence in really the system, at both ends of the floor, right? The system has to do its job defensively first and foremost to give you a chance. And then if the way the system offensively is generating the shots, that's what we always say. That's all we can do. And instead of just maybe great individual one-on-one play generating shots, that the offense generates the shots, and all the players, hopefully 1 through 17, will be able to fit into that system and execute it. How quickly they can do that is always the challenge, starting a new season with new players.
Just a quick follow-up. Like one of the players who will be kind of fighting for a roster spot will be O'Shea. We'll be like talking to him later today. I just want to know, like obviously he's with you last season. What have you seen of him so far in camp? And how has he improved? Like how does he look?
He looked very good. One thing he's done in the short time we've had or seen him is he's really making shots. He had a really diligent off season as far as working on continuing to work on the shooting things that we started to work on. Well, we started working on it last summer when he was with the Canadian national team, and anyway, he just did a really good job of staying with that. And he's starting to see, in practice anyway, he's starting to see some dividends of this. He's stepping in and making a lot of threes, still on the glass, still sliding his feet and playing D the way he's capable of. He's kind of a low mistake player, and kind of that's his role. Don't make mistakes, play D, rebound. If you throw in some offense, that's probably a little icing on the cake, but we do want you to take the rhythm three when it gets swung around to you, and I think he's improving there.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, appreciate that. Coach, following up on Baines, when you look at a role for him, I think Ibaka with a pick and pop, because that's what he basically did here in Phoenix. But what do you see his role being, and what could his role evolve into with you guys?
Yeah, I think, first of all, good to talk to you, Dwayne, man. Been a long time.
Yes, sir.
Hope you're good, man. What was it? What was it back in, what was it? Erie?
Yeah.
Is that where it was?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right, man. Bayhawks. Anyway, it's kind of a combo between those guys a little bit, I think, between Gasol and Ibaka. Now, obviously Gasol's one of the best passing bigs in the world. Aaron's got a little bit of that in his game. I wouldn't, say he's the passer Gasol is, but he is a decent handler. He's getting it safely from, side to side on swinging and DHOs, dribble handoffs, et cetera. He did shoot it at a 37% clip above the break last year from three on a pretty good number of attempts. So, there's some of that pick and pop there as well. So, I think he's a veteran player. He's experienced. I think he looks just fine fitting in. Obviously, we've got to, polish up some of the ways we like to play our defensive schemes that are new. Well, newish. We just got to understand our way of playing a little bit. Nothing spectacular. They're just different for him. And he looks good out there so far, though, Dwayne.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too, man. Good talking to you.